Welcome back, everyone. I'm the Depressed Eeyore, and this is Kingdom Death Monster. Let's go ahead and get some of this situated. So for this fight, we're in for the fight of our lives again. There's no hunt phase. It's just going to go straight into the Nemesis fight. I don't think I missed anything. I went ahead and named some more characters. The new recruits are Mistia, Moko, Tiwi, Ryson, and Irin. And then for our new savior, our newest savior, it will be Kalgia. I started marking the blue saviors with little blue dots. Unfortunately, the dots don't enlarge with the image, so it's not really that noticeable, but it's really the only way to keep them marked, because I am now going to a second row with our named survivors. So I guess that's a good thing. I did add a bunch of cards to the field to help keep track of things and hopefully not make things too confusing. But before we do that, let's go ahead and go straight into the image. So just like, yep, a field of stone faces, and you can just see that one of the survivors just got decapitated by that guy, that Kingsman's halberd. And as far as I know, Kingsmen are actually rather big. Though it's kind of hard to tell. I guess the artwork kind of makes it, they are tall, but not that tall. But, I mean, this thing does take up 4 spaces, so there is that. Anyway, let's go ahead and pull up some stuff. It'll include some stats and all that fun stuff. There was once a monster that was to lead its master's regal procession. First, the monster came as a herald, then its hungry masters. So fierce were the monster's masters that it never thought to protect its own back, knowing that what horrors lay behind it. Alright, and we're fighting a level 1 Kingsman. It has 10 basic cards to advance, so it has 12 cards in total, just like the Butcher. Has 5 movement, just like the Butcher, but has 12 toughness. So this is the highest toughness we've fought yet. And it has 5 traits. It has Weak Spot, King's Combat, Battle Tempo, King's Aura, and Outfighting. So we'll go over those in a bit. As for the setup, he starts in the center just like before, and just like the previous Nemesis fight, we start at the bottom, and we do go first. This time around, we do have the stone columns, but they're set up in like a little cubby hole type thing. Also, that's what's a little bit different from the Butchers. We actually get 2 random terrains, which is great. And then beyond that, that's really all we need to point out. Its non-target attack is known as Guard. So if it doesn't have any target, it will just buff up its toughness by 5 points until the start of the monster's next turn, which would make it 17 toughness, which would be pretty difficult for us to pierce through. Besides that, as for the defeat effect, this one's not too bad. It just destroys pottery if we have that innovated, which we don't. So there's not really any penalty for failure besides getting our characters killed. If things go too bad, I can attempt to run away. So that is an option. And yeah, that should be it. Okay, so let's go ahead and I'll go ahead and put up the pillars real quick. One of these is going to be sideways. Something like that. I'll have to look at it again real quick. Sorry, I'm all zoomed out again, but so it's okay. So it's kind of, it's like this. There you go. All right. With that all said and done, let's go ahead and close this, and we will roll for our terrain. 2d21. No tall grass. That kind of sucks. All right, terrain. 8 is stone columns again, and 16 is the ore vein, which starts. We can just have someone start on top of that. It's not going to be that useful, but it's better than nothing. And we're just going to copy this and paste it. And we're going, we're just going to do we're going to do what we did before. Do something like this. It has to be 6 spaces away, doesn't it? Yeah, it has to be 6 spaces away from all of the terrain. So we'll have someone just start here. And you'll just wriggle. Wriggle will start on top of that. So we'll put this to back. Sorry, I'm all zoomed out still. Alright, we're just going to get ourselves situated. You are within an attack range, that's good. And there we go. Alright, so with that said and done, let's review what we got going on here. So I got some battle tempos all over with every character. It's kind of similar to the Infectious Lunacy that the Butcher had, but this one's a little bit more beneficial and not really as hostile. But also we have these battle pressures. These are actually hit locations, but I wanted some way to actually show you guys that these things are active and not active. So that is the best way I can do it. So let's first go over, we've already gone over the stats, pretty straightforward. Basic action for the Kingsman is it will target the survivor in a blind spot first, then closest threat. And what it'll do is you full move towards the target and make separate attacks against each survivor in the highlighted area. So it essentially swipes with its halberd and hits multiple targets. Speed 3, accuracy 3, damage 3. After damage, it does bash and knockback. So yeah, this guy, he ain't messing around. Instead of doing bleed and all that nonsense, he just cuts right through you. Now for the AI cards, let's go over some of the specials. So let's go over Battle Tempo first. Archive Battle Tempo if you have this King's Step Secret Fighting Art. Throughout this battle, we have the opportunity to activate a story event called King's Step. King's Step involves a D10, and each time you fail to succeed with King's Step, you will add a token to Battle Tempo, and every token you have on Battle Tempo will give you a +1 on future rolls for King's Step. The idea is every time you hit a battle pressure, which is these first 3 hit locations, you are going to be watching the Kingsman and trying to figure out his moves and try to figure out how to combat his moves or try to match them, however you wish to look at it. So those are active, and if someone happens to get the King Step ability, they will no longer need that battle tempo. Next is King Aura. At the start of the monster's turn, and whenever the hit location deck is shuffled, place 3 battle pressure hit location cards on top of the hit location deck. So every round, these 3 battle pressures are going to be put on top of the deck. And just so you can get a closer look, this is what battle pressure does. It cancels a hit, and if the survivor is adjacent to the monster, they make King Step. Now, the one additional thing about King Step is when you activate King Step, you cancel out any remaining hits. So it's a good idea if you hit multiple times to go ahead and just cancel out the other battle pressures first, and then do King Step. Next is King's Combat. The Butcher drew 2 AI cards per round. What the Kingsman does is he starts with a basic action, then draws an AI card. So he always will do basic action, and it's pretty brutal. And then he does his other brutal attacks. And then finally, there's 2 more things. Also, I haven't been doing show, so let's do shows. Show. This is just me forcing this as a habit. Just in case I ever have other players playing with me. Alright, outfighting. The Kingsman regains reach 2. That means he can reach 2 spaces away. When the monster moves towards a target, in the monster's movement 1 space away from the target, if the target was already adjacent to its target, it will move 1 space away. And this also means the Kingsman can't attack on diagonals. This actually is sort of beneficial in some aspects because it always forces him to take a step back, which means his AoEs don't hit as much, but it's still pretty dangerous. And then finally, Silent Hymn is only for level 2s and level 3s, but the final ability is Weak Spot. The monster has -4 toughness when you attack from the blind spot. So instead of having 12 toughness, it'll have 8. So yeah, so it was mentioned in that little bit of lore that he never shows his back because he's too afraid of what's behind him and stuff like that. So that is all of the traits. So what I'm going to do for the battle pressures is I'm going to just pull these down and up as we use them, because they're going to get reapplied not only on the beginning of turns and whenever we hit a trap card, but also there are multiple reactions that will put battle pressures back on. And this is a fight where he has some weaknesses, and which we were not going to be able to exploit. But he also has very, very powerful strengths versus other types of builds. Luckily, we're not doing any of those builds because we didn't take any. Didn't really go for that sort of build. But we'll get more into that in a bit. At this point, we can go ahead and get started. We go first, so that's the good news. So how we're going to go ahead and do this is, first of all, I've already actually I'll go ahead and show everyone's stats real quick. Ken has the rawhide set, so it's 2 armor in all hit locations. Wriggle has a skull helmet and cloth, so it's 3 in the head and 1 in the waist. Suika has a skull helmet and a cloth and a shield, so it's 4 in the head, 1 arms, 1 body, 1 legs, and then 2 in the waist. And then Chin has the full leather set and a leather shield. The leather pieces have 3 armor each. The leather set gives her 1 armor on all the hit locations, and the shield will give her 1 armor in all hit locations. So she has 5 in all hit locations. Alright, and everyone has 4 survival, and we are ready to go. So, first things first, we do go first, like I said before. We are going to... I'm going to send Suika to attack. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then go ahead and surge. Or not surge, dash. By the way, we can surge now, so that's good. And I'm just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm actually going to go around and attack the side. Okay, 40-10 hits on 7s. No hits. Okay, so not much going on there. Next will be Wriggle, and I'm just going to go ahead and search the ore. 5. Five does get us a strange iron resource. So we'll get rid of that, and Wriggle's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, actually, she has the arrow, doesn't she? She has the arrow. She's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. There. I'm going to go ahead and have Wriggle surge. And she's going to pop an arrow. So 1d10 hits on 6s. That's a hit. It's just going to negate one of the battle surges, or battle pressures, and it's actually going to give it a -1 evasion. So it'll be easier to hit it in the future. Okay, with that said and done, let's go ahead and move on to Chin. It's going to get pretty brutal pretty quickly, but yeah, I'm okay with that. Alright, so Chin, 1, 2... Oh, also Chin gets 2 insanity because of her leather helmet. So with that said, let's continue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go ahead and dash. So 1, 2. And we'll go ahead and make an attack. Okay. And sorry about that. I had to deal with someone talking to me. So Chin has 2 attacks with the Skullcap Hammer. If she gets any perfect hits, it will debuff him. So that'll be awesome. Really, I'm just going to try to get rid of the battle pressures. So 2d10. That's a perfect hit. Awesome. That actually gives it a -1 speed for until the end of its turn, which is actually super useful right now. So there you go. -1 speed. But yeah, just to show it, perfect hit, -1 speed token until end of its turn. A monster can be dazed once per round. So there you go. This does hit both the battle pressures. So I'm going to go ahead and have the first one get negated, and then the second one I will go ahead and do King Step. So let's go ahead and show off King Step. You can't do this without having ever learned King Step, but this learning King Step does make things so much easier. So let's do story events. King Step. Show to players. Here's the image. resist the unspoken pressure of the monster's onslaught. So yeah, this monster's very presence is just tearing into you. Your body trembles and your mind wavers. You struggle just to stay standing against the pressure projected by the monster. Discard all unresolved hit locations and end your attack and attempt to overcome. And then we do a 1d10, and we have to roll, we get +1 for every tempo token. We can also potentially get some additional bonuses if we have Forbidden Dance, which we don't. So, 1d10. I swear, I think every time I've played with a group and actually fought the Kingsman, the very first time someone does King Step, they get it. The target number is 10 plus. So the first time you attack him, unless you have Forbidden Dance, I guess, you will only have a 10. Well, even with Forbidden Dance, the first attack you only have a 10% chance of actually achieving this. You grasp the pattern behind the monster's fine movements, a rhythm that lets you control the pace of the fight. You have overcome the battle pressure and learned something valuable. Gain the King's Step secret fighting art. Now, Chin is supposed to be our tank. And her role is about to change because it's time to show off secret fighting arts. King Step. Whenever you attack, you may discard any number of battle pressure hit locations drawn and draw an equal number of new hit locations. So this part of it's primarily for the Kingsman, but you also have something here, which is whenever you attack after drawing hit locations, but before rolling to wound, you may choose one hit location drawn and discard it to draw a new hit location. So if you see something like, I don't know, Lion's Paw, you can choose to discard that and draw something that won't murder you. The only thing you can't discard is traps. Okay, so with all that said and done, let's continue. Now all the battle pressures are currently down, and I can go ahead and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and Ken does have a reach of 2. So we'll go ahead and attack with our swords. We hit on 4s now because it's 5 base and then the -1 evasion. 1 hit. 1d18, I think is the number. Let me make sure. Yeah, not counting the battle pressures, there's 18 hit locations. 14. Regal Plume. Out of all the things, we got the Impervious one. Alright. Impervious hit locations cannot be wounded. A wound or critical wound will not remove AI or defeat the monster. And unfortunately, this is actually the one location I don't want to crit, which I crit. So now it gets +1 damage, which is annoying. Where is it? There it is, +1 damage. So this thing is now even tougher than it was before, which is not what we want at all. So yeah, going all crit, maybe not the best idea all the time. Alright, so at this point, we don't really have we can attack still. Technically, I could still surge with Chen, but that's risky. I could surge... I can surge with Suika and see if I can get some hits in, but it'll be armor 12, and Suika only has, sorry for being so zoomed in, +1 strength, so that's not going to really be enough to do anything. Alright, so we'll just bite the bullet and take what's coming to us. If I need to, I can do some dashes with Ken and go from there. Alright, so new round starts, which means battle pressures go back up. So we got King Step, but we didn't get much further than that. First things first, it's going to do its basic action. So basic action, Survivor and Blind Spot, which is going to be Chen. It's going to move forward. It's going to take 1 step back, and then attack, because it always does its reach thing. So thankfully that actually puts Ken out of range, and Suika is just avoiding the attack. So this is going to be 3 speed, but it's actually 2 speed because of the token. So 2d10, and this hits on... Chen has... +2 evasion, so this hits on 5s. So let's do that. 1 hit. I'm going to go ahead and dodge it. So Chin will just go ahead and spend a survival point and dodge it because I don't want to take 4 points of damage. I'm not going to even look at the hit location for that. Also would do bash and knockback, which is super annoying. Alright, so that's basic action taken care of. Now we draw a card. Okay. It's going to go... It got, for its AI card, it got Hook and Pull. Furthest threat in field of view, in range. No guard is, if there's no target, it's guard. So let's see. I'm going to go ahead and check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is within range of Wriggle. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So it's going to go after Wriggle. And it can do things like move the monster back 2 spaces without turning, target suffers grab, stuff like that. So essentially it's going to attack and drag us backwards and do additional damage and all sorts of nasty things. So it's going to pick Wriggle as the target. Once Wriggle's been picked as the target, it's going to hit that flow. I'm going to go ahead and use Wriggle's oh, that's right, I used Surge. So I can still use Dash. So I'll use Dash and move away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this thing's just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and can't do anything. So that actually worked out rather well for us. Now, unfortunately, battle pressures are back up. It's now our turn again. And I really kind of want to get out. I mean, Chin would be pretty good for the shield bonus and all that good stuff. But for this, let's see if we can pull it off. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. Also, I do need to make a note of the plume. Show to everyone. We also need to make a note of the plume. Let's do that real quick, because it hasn't been reshuffled. It's just the battle pressures got put on top of the deck. Okay, so next, let me check something. I keep wondering if shields are heavy. No, they're not. Thank God. All right. So Chin's going to go ahead and attack from behind. She hits on 5s now. So 2d10. 2 hits and a perfect hit. So that means it gets dazed again. And once again, I can now, at this point, I draw 2 battle pressures. And what's going to happen is I'm going to discard these 2 battle pressures and draw 2 more cards. And let's see if I get a trap card first. So 1d18. All right, 18. So now we discarded those 2 battle pressures thanks to King's Step. And now we have a battle pressure and a Regal Ram Brace. And what we're going to go ahead and do then is go ahead and discard this battle pressure here. And do 1 more roll, and it's the 17. So 17 and 18. All right, as you can see there now, there's a lot of annoying battle pressures here. Well, this one's going to do basic. It's going to return any discarded battle pressures back on top of the deck, and then perform basic action. This thing here will make it turn towards us and move 2 spaces away from us, which will cancel all the hits. Though I can also choose to follow and continue attacking. First, we're just going to go ahead and do the 18 first. I don't expect to really do much damage. Skullcap Hammer is 3 strength. So 3 strength, so 1d10 plus 3. Alright, that is a wound. We have successfully wounded him. The only reason we're wounding is because we're attacking from the weak spot, which is in his blind spot. So it's only 8 toughness and not 12. Alright, and then this is going to make him turn around and takes 2 steps directly away. 1, 2. Alright, I'm not going to follow. So we'll just take the 17 and 18. Because if I had followed, that other reaction would trigger and put the battle pressures back on. And I don't want that. So 1 wound, 11 more to go. Or sorry, 12 more to go. So what I'm going to go ahead and do next is I'm going to have Wriggle go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, get out of there. And she's going to go ahead and check the top 3 cards. 3d18. 18's been done, so it's 14. Alright, so it's going to be 2, 9, and 12. 2, 9, and 12. 2 is an Axe Blade, which is first strike. Which, by the way, this is why you don't wear heavy armor around the Kingsmen. If you're wearing heavy armor, they suddenly feel their knees buckle and are knocked down. And this also returns discarded battle pressures back to the top of the deck. Alright, and then 9 is the Gauntlet, which is, if you have a dagger, you can actually get +3 strength when wounding. And also, if you wound this location, the rest of the locations are a lot easier to wound, assuming you don't crit. Well, you can't crit that location because it doesn't have a crit on it. Alright, and then, what was the other one? It was 2, 9, yeah, sorry, 2, 9, and 14. So, or sorry, 2, 9, and 12. So, 12. Regal Helm, if you do damage to this location, it's going to be -2 toughness for the rest of the turn. Okay, cool. We can work with that. So, okay, it's still our turns. So next thing I'm going to go ahead and do is go straight for the, I'm going to use Ken to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 4, 5, actually. I'm going to attack from behind. Okay, so let's go ahead and make our attacks. So 2d10 hits on 3s. Actually, with that knowledge, I really wanted to see if we can crit that Axe Blade, because that would give him a -1 speed token, which would be amazing. So, alright, 2d10, let's see what we get. Alright, 2 hits, none of them are perfects. I'll just stick with the order I have here. Axe Blade has to be done first. This will put battle pressures back on. Well, sorry, I'll do battle, it will, it's not a reaction, so it'll trigger it anyway. So that's annoying, but I'd rather see if I can get rid of that speed token. Okay, so 1d10 plus 5, I believe. So I don't think you have anything else special going on. 2 strength. Yeah, just 5. Okay. Alright, here goes nothing. Nope, and didn't even wound. Awesome. We can still do the Regal Helm, though. That is a wound. Attacker gets +1 survival, so Ken, you are already maxed out, unfortunately. Well, actually, I can do a surge. So I'll go ahead and do a surge and see if I lose the point. I do, so this will eventually trigger and I'll get all that fancy stuff. Alright, so I'm surging right now, and I only get 2 attacks, so 2d10, 1 hit, it's going to get rid of battle pressure. And I'm okay with that. And then I get +1 survival from hitting with the Regal Helm, and then that gives me the point back. So there you go. So I took advantage of that. And that is pretty much it for that. I did already move the top card. 9 is still on top of the deck with 2 battle pressures over on top of it. So be aware of that. 2 wounds. Okay. Sorry if this is going a little slow, but there's a lot of things I have to keep track of. Alright, Chin's already attacked. Chin could surge, but I don't really want to. Next would be Suika. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which kind of doesn't help us. And there's a cat on my lap. You know, you picked the wrong time to be adorable, kitty. Sorry, I'm all zoomed in trying to scroll and look at things. Alright, so Suika has the Katars. I'll have to attack from the side, which means it'll be toughness 10. Which means I would have 50-50 chance to wound. Which is better than nothing, I guess. So yeah, I can go ahead and dash. And go 1, 2. And see how many hits we get. 40-10 hits on 6s. Only 1 hit, so that's just going to remove 1 battle pressure, and that's just going to come back most likely. So I'm going to go ahead and do King Step. 2, that's not great. Pull up King Step, because that's actually going to hurt us, probably. The monster swiftly finds an opening in your poor footwork and mercilessly slams your shin. Suffer a random severe leg injury. Gain 1 tempo token. Does she have an herb? She does. It cancels, so that will just cancel it. Okay, problem solved. And then she gets a tempo token, so let's just get that nonsense going. Sorry I'm all zoomed in, but it'll be easier to see kind of the rest of the battle. Okay, 1 tempo token. So at this point, I could surge and keep attacking, and I think I will. So let's go ahead and Suika, go ahead and surge. We're just going to try to get as many hits in as possible while we still can. So 40, 10. That is 4 hits. One of it's a battle pressure. I'll just let the battle pressure soak a hit. And then I need to roll 2d18 and see if I get a 1. 9 and 9. 9's been done. In fact, 9's right in front of us. 7 and 10. 7 and 10 are fine. So 7 and 10. 7 is the collar. If you get the killing blow on the Regal Collar, it does some fancy stuff. Rather good stuff, in fact. And then the Greaves has the Reflex. Okay, that's not a big deal. I'm going to go for the Gauntlet first. Because right now it's toughness 10 because of the -2 right now. So 1d10 plus 4, because she does have the Monster Tooth Necklace. I keep checking because I keep losing track. Yeah, she has it. Okay, so 1d10 plus 4. That's a wound, and she gets a survival point back, and this will debuff him another 2 toughness. So now he's at 8 toughness from the front. And she gets a survival point back, which she needs. I'll go for the collar next. That's another wound. And then finally the Greaves. Failed the wound. And then this guy's just gonna turn this way. Take 2 steps back. Okay. So yeah, that happened. Everything should be up to date. It is. So yeah, we've done 4 wounds to him so far. So that's something at least. At this point, I'm trying to see what sort of distance. Well, Suika has surged, so there's not much. Or she surged. She dashed and surged. Chin has not dashed or surged yet, so that is something we can work with. I don't think she did. Let me check real quick. There's King Step. Bunch of misses. Oh wait, sorry, that was 1 hit. 9. Wait, I'm confused. Oh, it's because of the points. I don't know. I'm pretty sure she didn't surge this round. She dashed. Oh, she dashed and she dodged. So yeah, she can still. That was last round though. So this round she could dash and get in the way. But otherwise, there's not really much that can be done. Distance. 3 away. 4 away. So yeah, it would end up going after Suika. And Suika will not survive. Well, she can take some hits, maybe. We'll make do. We'll see what happens. Alright. Yeah, so we'll just leave it as is. New round starts. We've gone through most of the deck. which sucks, and battle pressures go back in. And first things first is it's going to do basic action. So basic action again, survivor in blind spot. This time there is nobody. And then it's going to go after closest threat, which is going to be Ken, sorry. So he needs to move, so he's one space away, so that's there. And then makes attack on everybody in that row. It's going to be just checking a few things. If I were to go right now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then he goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 4, he would actually be out of range. 1, 2, 3, 4. So yeah, instead of getting attacked, I think I'm going to go ahead and dash, because Ken hasn't dashed yet. She surged, but she didn't dash. So here's your dash. It does use the point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he was right here. He was going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because he has to be at least one space away in order to attack. This does cause bash and knockback for her. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That knocks her down. Okay, so that was the basic action. Now for the card. Next card is Clang. The Kingsman bangs its lantern halberd rhythmically against the ground. All non-death survivors suffer 3 brain damage. If the settlement is invaded Song of the Brave, they instead suffer 1 brain damage. Full move the Kingsman away from most survivors, turn to face the nearest survivor. Place any discarded battle pressure cards on top of the hit location deck, which doesn't matter because it would happen anyway. This is here just in case you try to do things like Surge or whatever nonsense. So yeah, everyone's going to take 3 brain damage. Ken's going to take 3. Wriggle's going to get a brain trauma. Suika's going to get a brain trauma. Chen is going to be okay. Alright, so Suika and Wriggle. I'll do Wriggle first. 1d10 plus 2 because we accept the darkness. That is 4. Flee, you are knocked down and suffer knockback equal to your movement towards the closest board edge. Gain 1d5 insanity. Okay. So Wriggle gets 4 insanity. And then for, I'll move her in a second. 1d10 plus 2 for Suika, 8. Lunacy, random disorder, and 1d5 insanity. So 4 insanity, and 1d23 gets you 17. Rageaholic. You know, I think I forgot something. I think I never put armor on, No, actually I got that on the last hunt. Never mind. I kept thinking I didn't send her out with that. Anyway, Rageaholic, whenever you suffer a severe injury, you also suffer Frenzy. Okay, that's completely fine for her. So what's it called? Rageaholic? Okay, Rageaholic it is. And you got, what, 4 from that? Yep, so Rageaholic it is. Rageaholic. Alright. While that's done, I need to do the movement still. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because it's knockback. I believe it's knockback. Made it sound like knockback, even though it was like movement. You are knocked down and suffer knockback. Yeah, it is knockback, so it would slide along the walls. Okay, this does knock her down. And that is pretty much everybody. Oh, and then it's going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. because essentially everyone's kind of everywhere at the moment. Okay, so with that knowledge, let's see what we can do next, I guess. So we can try to shout up Suika. She can't really reach though, and Wriggle's been knocked down. So I think the thing I'm going to do, the speed token gets removed again. Not much we can do about that. We can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can attack from the front and try to make some attacks and try to get the battle pressures removed. And then Ken can go ahead and see what she can do from there. So I'm completely okay with that. I'm just a little concerned about the trap card. In fact, I'm so concerned about the trap card right now, I'd rather not risk it. So we'll just have her go here and block. So that's her action. She's just going to block this round. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How wide is that freaking tack? That's the question. It is too wide from there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is just out of range. Okay, so that should be fine. Alright, and that is pretty much it. I can't do anything else with the other characters because they're knocked down and I don't want to shout them back up. Alright, so that means battle pressures don't change because they're still there. And we're going to go ahead and do basic action. So it's going to go closest threat, which is actually definitely Chen. Yeah, definitely Chen. 1, 2. And it's going to go ahead and make 3 attacks. These hit on 5s. So here you go. 3d10. All of them missed. Okay, now we draw a card. Cleave. And these are just the basic cards. Alright, closest threat in field of view and range, that is still her. And full move towards target, make a separate attack against each survivor in the highlighted zone. So it's practically the same thing. The only difference is this always attacks the head. Which is bad. Because that's 3 attacks directly to the head. Alright. 3d10 again. 2 hits. So what's going to happen is the first hit's going to get blocked, and the second hit's going to get dodged. We're not dealing with that nonsense. Alright, and that ends the monster's turn. Knockdowns get removed. Knockdown get removed. Alright, Chen, do your thing. One, two. Well, we'll go here. Also, I keep forgetting after I take an action, I can actually take a step. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 2d10. Hits on 6s. 1 hit. That's all we need. We're going to go ahead and use we're just going to remove all the battle pressures with King Step, and then do a 1d18. 8. Surprisingly enough, has not been done. So there's 8. 8 is the faceplate. Fortunately, if we wound this, it's going to cause us problems, but not much we can do about it. 1d10 plus 3. This is, we only wound on 9s, so it's not unlikely. Nope, we missed it. Alright, so nothing happened, but we did remove the battle pressures. Okay, with that knowledge in hand, let's do a 3d18 and see what's left. We're using Wriggle's circlet. 7's been done, 15 has not, and 10 has been done. So 15. 5. 15, 5. God, we keep getting the same ones. That's making me nervous. 16. 15, 16, and 5. Okay. 16. The sheath. I wouldn't mind getting a critical wound on that. 15. The Sabatons. If you wound it, it does -2 toughness. And then the last one was 5. The Regal back. If you wound this, if the attacker has 3 understanding or king step, the subtle patterns of the monster's evasive steps are laid out in the open. The attacker is on the verge of learning something big and may spend 5 survival to get 1+1 permanent evasion. Good luck on that. Alright, so the wound order we're going to go ahead and do is back, sheath, and Sabatons. So Sabatons on top, then sheath, then back. Okay, so with that information, I'm going to use the leather boots that give me 1 additional step after I finish my actions to step right there. In fact, actually with that knowledge, we'll deal with the sheath later. We'll deal with the sheath later. I mean, as much as I want to do a crit, it's just not going to happen. So what instead I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to spend a survival point on Ken to go ahead and do dash. Alright, that does get spent. So this is just to make sure I can get to the back. Like so. And she's going to make 2 attacks. 2d10 hits on 3s. 2 hits. Okay, so back and Sabatons. I'm going to do Sabatons first. So 1d10 plus 5. That is a wound. And then the back, which with -2 toughness. That is also a wound. So 1 and 2. So 6 left. I know the next card is 16. Right now we've gone through. If I attack again, if I surge and get 2 attacks in, it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There'll be a 1 in 6 chance that I'll be getting the acid blood discharge. And Ken does not have a shield. But this is Ken's retirement one way or another. So 2d10, both hits. 1d18. Well, here we go. We're just going to do this. 10d18. What comes up first? 13. Actually, 3 comes up first. Holy cow. We actually pulled that off somehow. 3 is the Halberd handle. If you critical wound this can give an accuracy token. Spend 2 survival to gain 1 courage and bully deflect the halberd, or all survivors within 2 spaces of the Kingsman are knocked down. Okay, I will go for the halberd handle first. So it still has -2 toughness, so it has 6 toughness right now when I'm attacking from behind. 1d10 plus 5. That is just a wound. Oh, I did get +1 survival from hitting the that 1 wound area. So let's go ahead and remove this card. Make sure I did that right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. So this will be the 7th wound. I will go ahead and spend 2 survival to ensure she doesn't get knocked down, so she can keep attacking. So there's +1 courage. And then I will go ahead and attack the sheath. That is a wound, but it's not a crit, which is what I wanted. Alright. That's still another wound. Bad news is battle pressures go back up. And this guy's just going to turn around and do basic action. He's going to take a step back, and he's going to attack. And there's not really much we can do about it. So here we go. 3d10 hits on 3s. Or sorry, it hits on 4s because of the rawhide. So 2 hits. Body and body. This is going to hurt. Yep. So this is going to be 8 damage to the body. So have fun with that, I guess. Yeah, this is just going to wreck her body. There's not much we can do about it. You did a really good job, though, Ken. You really hurt this boss. But this is going to probably end you. So this is a severe injury. 5. That is not death. It just makes you wish it was death. Alright, body. 5 is a destroyed back. Sharp cracking noise, suffer -2 permanent movement. You can no longer activate any gear that has 2+ strength. Okay, that means she can't use her sword. This injury is permanent and can be recorded once, gain 1 bleed token. Okay. Not much we can do about that. So, destroyed back. -2 movement and a bleed token. Also, she had +1 strength this entire time. I completely forgot she had +1 strength this entire time. That would have made her have 6+. Which probably could have wounded another location. I can't really check now anymore. It's been way too long, and I don't want to review the footage that much. Bad news is now Ken does not have a weapon. Well, she has bone darts. She has bone darts. Oh no, she can't use bone darts either because it has 3 strength. So yeah, the only thing she can use now are her fist. So she'll have 3 strength in total. And she'll still have deadly though, so she can still potentially crit. But that's about it. All right, Ken's hurting pretty bad, and she's also been knocked down. Okay, and Suika, you can move in and attack. At this point, everyone with shields is nearby this, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go ahead and attack Suika, see what you can get. 40-10 hits on 5s. That is 3 hits, 1 of them perfect. Don't think it matters for her. It doesn't. Okay, so these are all battle pressures. I'm just going to go ahead and just do King Step and see what we get. 1d10 plus 1 because she does have a tempo token, and 4. She doesn't dance. She doesn't get it. So King Step. That's at 4 now. The monster easily predicts your motions and skews you with your own momentum. Spend 1 survival or suffer a random severe body injury. There's my 1 survival, and she gets another tempo token. Now she's at +2. Okay. Battle pressures come back up. And it's a new round. Bad news is I kind of put Suika in a bad place. Actually, I'll have Suika surge for her final action. Get really far away from this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There you go. She has no survival left, but she's... Well, actually... She could surge right now and attack 4 times. So, you know what? I'm going to surge and attack 4 times. So, let's deal with the battle pressures first. So, this is still... I haven't ended my turn yet. I'm just going to go ahead and surge as part of the reaction for 3 hits. This is probably going to hit the trap card. I'm expecting it, in fact. So we're just going to go, I don't know, 20d 18, and we'll go with the first 3. $17's been done, 12 has been done, 16's been done, 11's not been done. There's 11. 3's been done, 10's been done, 16 has been done, 12's been done, 14's been done, 18's been done, 8's been done, 9's been done, Well, actually, it's easier just to look this way. 11 has not been done. 4 hasn't been done. So the numbers we're looking for is 13. No 13. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, 6 hasn't been done? I thought it has been. Has not been done. So, alright, so it's going to be 11, 4, and 16 of all things. No, not 16. 13. No, sorry, 6. Sorry, I'm getting all mixed up. 11, 4, and 6. Those are legit. So here's 4. Okay, so that's what it's the same essential general area. All right, so that was 4. 6 is the regal breastplate. And then, what was the other one? 11. 11 is the gut plate. Okay. If we crit wound, we'll knock him down. Not that that matters much. We'll do it in this order. So we have to do Halberd Spear first, so let's knock that out. And just a quick review. Because we did hit a bunch of hit locations, so I'm just making sure we did. He should be at -2 toughness at the very least. 3 was the handle, which didn't crit. 16 was the sheath, which didn't crit. 5 was the back, which was that suttable thingy majiggy, and then 15 was the -2 toughness. So he is down 2 toughness. So that's been noted. We are attacking from behind, so this is 6 toughness. Okay, so we got all that taken care of. This is going to put battle pressures on top, but it doesn't really matter at this point. So 1d10 plus 3. Thankfully, this does work because of the -2 toughness. So top card gets removed. Then the next one. That is a critical hit, so this will do a knockdown. Sorry, I was shuffling the discard pile. And then since he's knocked down, this final one is not going to matter too much. It's still a wound. And that is it. So he has 1 card left. So we could just hit 3 times. Suika has no survival left, but she just went all in. And the only hit locations we haven't done yet is Regal Knees and the Acid Blood Discharge. So one way or another, someone's going to get wrecked. Alright. Chen, you're running out of survival. That's not good. Alright, well, let's reveal the top card. Well, sorry, we're going to have to do basic action first. Basic action is going to go after the survivor in the blind spot, which is going to be Suika. Now the question is, who do I want to go for? I have to be 1 distance away from Suika, so I can either do essentially this and hit those 2, or I can be really sneaky and go this way and hit people that are already suffering. So I think I'll do that, and this will cause her to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and get bashed, sorry, not bashed, but she gets knocked down. And then we're gonna start doing some crazy attacks here. So 3d10 hits on 3+. We start with we go right to left based off the monster's facing. So we start with Suika first. That is 3 hits to Suika. Each hit doing 4 damage. Yeah, even with the +1 evasion, this is not going to save her. So let's do the hit locations. 3d6. It's going to be head, arms, and chest. So this is what's going to happen. 4 damage to the head, which is going to destroy the skull helm. Skull helm's been destroyed. Next is the arms, which is going to be a severe injury. Next is the body, which is also going to be a severe injury. She can't dodge any of these, so she's kind of screwed on that front. And yeah, so let's do severe injuries. We'll start with arms first. 1d10. 9. Severe injuries, arms, 9. Dislocated shoulder, pop. You cannot activate two-handed or paired weapons or use block until showdown ends. Gain 1 bleed token. Okay. So yeah, she's actually got a lot less attacks now. But that's okay. So let's go ahead and give Suika her bleed token, but we'll do that in a second because we still need to do the body. Okay. Body is not going to kill her, so that's something. Yeah, so dislocated shoulder, can't do any of that fancy shit now. Alright, and then for body is an 8, which is broken rib. Suffer -1 speed. This injury is permanent and can be recorded multiple times. Gain 1 bleed token. Alright. -1 speed. The bleed token. Broken rib. Also, this does cause Rageaholic to trigger, so we'll go ahead and do that real quick. 1d5 insanity. So she gets 3 insanity. She gets +1 strength token and a +1 speed token. Alright, so that evens some stuff down at least. I think it only happens once. Whenever you suffer a severe injury, also suffer the frenzy brain trauma. This is 2 severe injuries, so I'm going to go ahead and count it as twice. So let's go ahead and do another one. So she gets another 1 insanity. And she gets another strength and speed token. Okay. Next is Ken. So 3d10. Hits on, in her case, it hits on 4s as well. So all 3 hit. Let's see what we get. 3d6. Arms, body. So Ken's going to take another severe. She can dodge 1 into the arms, which is going to knock her down. She's already knocked down. And then she will take a severe injury to the body again. Not much we can do about that. She can't really do much anyway now. So 1d10, 6. Body 6, disemboweled. Movement is reduced to 1 until showdown ends. Gain 1 bleed token. Skip the next hunt. TP, blah, 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 blah. So bleed token. It doesn't really matter that she's going to miss the next hunt, but her movement's down to 1 because she's either going to die or she's going to disappear, whichever comes first. All right, so those have been taken care of, and now that was just the basic action. Last card in the deck is Cleave. We're close to winning, but we're not quite there yet. Alright, so Cleave. Closest threat in field of view. Oh, Suika's actually knocked down. Closest threat in field of view in range. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh wait, she doesn't. You don't need to go that far. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you don't get knocked out. Actually, what I'll do is 1, 2, 3, 4. Is I'll have Wriggle dash because she needs to have her get out of there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then this guy's just gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and just that's all he can do. All right. So one way or another, the acid blood discharge is going to hit us because there's only 2 hit locations left. Battle pressures are back up. Keen's down. Suika's down. Jen is down. Basic action. All these attacks only go after threats. Wriggle has 1 survival left. So what she can do is go. This guy's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So really all I can do is just try to keep moving. And give them time to kind of get back on their feet at this point. Because if we go 1, yeah, I'm just going to have her run. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so the rest of the characters can't do anything. They are knocked down. I could shout someone up, but that's not going to really save us at this point. So next is going to be the Kingsman again. He's going to do his basic action. It goes after closest threat, which is only Wriggle, because Wriggle's the only person that's on her feet right now. Actually, that is not true. Ken did get knocked down from the basic action counterattack. Or at least she should have. Yeah, she did. So actually, she gets back up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She can only move 1 step, though. So, I don't know, 1. Then closest threat would be 9 squares away. Or we can have her go closer, so it'll be 7 squares away. One, 2. Okay. But no, that actually won't really work out either way. So, you know what? Yeah, you can still move there, but now, generally, when you're controlling the monster, you're supposed to be as mean as possible, but this game's actually difficult enough as is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm trying to measure things out. So tell you what, we're just going to go move her down 1, and then move you away. So 9 and 9. There you go. Because we have to, we gotta make do with what we got. All right. So yeah, Ken can't really do much, to be honest. So next, so it's gonna be their turns, or Kingsman's turn. Kingsman's gonna do basic action. Basic action has no range; it's just closest threat. So it's gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of range. Okay, and then it's gonna do cleave again. Cleave goes closest threat in field of view and range, which is going to be Wriggle, and there's not really much Wriggle can do about that. Wriggle can surge and try to get away, and that's about it. So yeah, we'll just do that, I guess. So if I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's going to reach no matter what. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I will go ahead and have. I mean, Wriggle could try dodging an attack, but that's not going to really save her, because any attack that hits anything but the head is going to knock her out. So let's do. We're going to go ahead and do a dash. Actually. Yeah, that's really all she can do. I can't. I was going to try to throw a founding stone, but that was not going to happen. 1, 2, 3. In fact, I should have surged and used the founding stone sooner. That was my bad. I keep forgetting I have it because I never use it. So 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's just out of range. Well, out of range of Chen. It's not out of range of Wriggle. So cleave 3d10. This hits on 3s, I think. 2 hits. Yep, not much you can do about that. Alright, 2d6. That is head and legs. So Wriggle is going to get knocked down one way or the other. Severe injury to the legs. So 1d10. Oh, that's going to kill her. Okay, severe injuries, legs, blood geyser, blood shoots from your femoral artery at alarming rate, killing you in seconds. Alright, goodbye Wriggle. You did really well. Now it's really kind of up to us now. So all of us get back onto our feet this round. He is down, he is at 2, he has 1 card left. If we can just do 2 wounds to him, that would be good. Alright, Chen, you're gonna have to you're gonna have to deal with the King's pressures one way or the other. Suika has +2 speed, -1 speed because of the broken rib. She can't pair weapons anymore. Actually, let me make sure I did do that right. Broken, was it straight back? No, that's not the one. What was the one that she lost? Oh, it was arms. Dislocated shoulder. You cannot activate two-handed or paired weapons or use block. Okay, so all she can do is punch. So she's kind of in that same issue boat as everyone else. Actually, wait, she can use her axe. She can use the bone axe. That is something that can be used. And that has, that'll be 3 attacks. Okay, that's something. That's something we can work with. So let's go ahead and use Chen. 1, 2, 3. And we will go ahead and attack. And pray. So 2d10. That is 2 hits. Battle pressures are going to get rid of. I'm going to let one of the battle pressures go through. So it can negate one of my hits. Actually, no, I will let it go. No, I will let this happen. So I'll negate them both. And that's going to cause the trap card to trigger. Because there's only 2 cards left. There's Acid Blood Discharge and Regal Knees. So we'll end up drawing on both. So I'll go ahead and show Regal Knee. Its first strike does the heavy stuff. You can shatter his knee and do some stuff with that. Doesn't really matter because the only card that's left is Cleave. And then Acid Blood Discharge will trigger. Gouts of acid spew from the cracks in the monster's armor. Attacker is doomed. All survivors within 2 spaces of the monster suffer damage to a random hit location equal to the number of wounds on the wound stack. There are currently 11 wounds on the wound stack, so this will be 11 damage to 1 hit location. Any survivors with a shield may elect to protect themselves and ignore this trap, then return any discarded battle pressures to the hit location deck after it gets reshuffled. Okay, so with that, that is it. It gets reshuffled. And Chen does have a shield, so she'll just go ahead and block. Does Chen have any survival left? She does. So I'm going to go ahead and... I don't really have any other options, do I? 1. Alright, Chen, this is up to you. Surge. 2 attacks. Actually, I can't because... Well, I can during someone else's turn. So, tell you what, we'll just go with that for now and see what happens. Yeah, we can do that. We'll just wait. I'll use this step from the boots to go back 1 step. And Suika is just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I think Keen already moved 1 step. Oh, actually she did not. Now she did. Alright, so once again, we're going to be dealing with a whole lot of attacks, and there's not much we can do about it. So first things first, it's going to be basic action. It's going to go after closest threat. So 3d10, 2 hits, 2d6. That is arms and body. So Chen will take 4 damage to the arms, 4 damage to the body. Okay, now it's Cleave, which is going to be her again. So 3 attacks. Hits on 5s. 2 hits again. Oh wait, Headhunter always goes for the head. I completely forgot about that. That was my bad. Alright, well either way, the Cleave still ended up killing her, so it didn't really matter. So yeah, this is going to always hit the head location, so it's going to do, it's 2 hits to the head location. I'll dodge one of them. Take 4 damage to the head. Okay. And that is the end of the turn. We have a fresh deck again. Keen will just move 1 step because she can't do anything else. Chin's going to go ahead and 1, 2, 3, 4, and attack 2 times. That's a perfect hit, so that's -1 speed for 1 round. And this will get rid of all the battle pressures. And then I roll a 1d18. 9. Please give me something I can work with. 9 is gauntlets. Okay. Unfortunately, I can only wound on not very much. That's 9. That's not going to be enough because she's not attacking from the back. Alright. But that is something at least. Next is Suika. Actually, I'll take a step back. There we go. Suika's next. 1, 2, 3, 4. Suika can't spend any more survival or any of that nonsense because she's doubled frenzied. But she can still attack with her fist. Alright. So, fist and tooth. Either that or I attack with my shield. Which isn't much better. So, fist and tooth has 2 speed. I get +1 speed because of all the tokens I have. So 3 attacks. And it hits on 6s because of evasion token and being in blind spot. So here we go. 3d10. 1 hit. 1d18. 17. 17 is the skirt. Oh, great. Alright, well, this is going to be 1d10 plus 3. Yeah, plus 3. Monster Tooth Necklace, and then the 2 strength tokens. Alright. Alright, that is a wound, because we're attacking from in the blind spot. It has 0 cards left. We need to somehow get 1 more wound on it. The reaction still happens, though. Yeah, the reaction still happens. So, it's going to get all its battle pressures back, and then do basic action. We might not be able to pull this off. Chen, you got no survival left. Well, Chen, you're going to get hit, because there's not anything we can do about it. Alright, going from right to left, it's going to hit Chen first. So, 3d10. Only 1 hit. 1d6. That is the arms, unfortunately, and that is enough to do a severe wound. 8. 8 to the arms is a spiral fracture. Gain -2 strength tokens, get Nux Hunt, and a bleed token. Or sorry, it's your arm twist unnaturally. So, -2 strength. So now it's even harder to wound. And she's been knocked down. Keen, do you have any survival left? You have 1 survival left. Alright, well, we can shout you back up then. Okay, now we're going to do 3 attacks on Suika. Hits on 4s. All hits. All body. So this is 12 damage to the body. So we go ahead and see what we get there. And that's killed. So instant death to Suika as well. And that is it. Unless we can get one more hit in and somehow successfully wound, I do not see us pulling through this. That is the end of the turn, so it's going to be White Line, or not White Line, but Kingsman again. So Kingsman's going to go ahead. All he's got left is basic actions, so he's just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then for the second. Sorry about that. Facebook notifications and all that nonsense. All right, so basic action. Got the guy that's close, and then the next one is drawing a card, but there's no card, so it's basic action again. There's not really much Ken could do at this point. She could potentially dodge an attack, and that's about it. Everything else is pretty much going to kill her, unless she gets some really good combo masters going. Which honestly, I don't think she didn't get a single natural 10, so I don't expect her to really get anything here. Hits on 4s. 2 hits. 2d6. That is legs and waist. Which is not enough to actually kill her. She actually survived it. This also knocks her down. Chin gets back up. And it's Chin's turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, so basic action is going to go after threats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, change the plans. We're going like this. So that'll go there. And then Ken will get back up and go 1. Alright. I have to get behind it, but I have really no way of doing that. Really, all I can do is try to block and hope that's enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. But there's no way I'll be able to survive that many attacks. So I think my best bet is just to make a bunch of attacks and hope it's enough. I would have to roll... No, actually, I would have to roll a natural 10 to actually hurt this thing if I attack it from the front. So, yeah, this might be a loss. I mean, one thing I could try doing is running away. And at this point, I might as well, because Chin is not going to survive another onslaught like that. But I've come this far, so I'm going to go ahead and take a step forward and block. And that's going to be my action. Okay. Actually, Dradacanthus. Holy cow, I forgot about Dradacanthus. Let's actually rewind, because that actually matters. Dradacanthus would have canceled the bleed token and the strengths. I completely forgot about Acanthus. I always do. Alright. Let's go check some stuff. So those are the rages. Oh, that's right. I got injured right then and there, didn't I? From the counterattack. Okay, so yeah, I haven't tried any attacks with +0 yet. Or +1 yet. So I can attack from here, but it's still a low chance. I would have to roll a 9 and a 10. Or a 10, so 20% chance. 1, 2, 3. Let's go ahead and do it. 2d10, I hit on 6s. Sorry, oh wait, scroll down. I hit once, so this will get rid of the battle pressures. 1d18. 11. Now I do have the option to discard a card and take the next one. But there's really no reason not to, so let's go for this one. 1d10 plus 3. We did it. Because, well, for one, that wound should have been gone. But yeah, we actually did it. That's a wound. That's exactly a wound. Because it has 12 toughness. Sorry for all of it being a mess. As you can see, it's very, very complicated with all the battle pressures and all that nonsense. So, Wriggle's dead. Suika died. Chen lives, gets 1 experience point. Ken retires. So she disappears. And that is it. Alright, well, let's first put our dead away. Ken's technically not dead, but we could put her somewhere, I guess. We'll put her up here. No, we'll just put her down here. That's fine. Away from the rest of the dead. Alright, where's Suika? Oh cow, that was rough. I mean, we did take nothing but newbies with the exception of Ken, and when Ken suffered those freaking injuries, there was really not much we can do about it. Because the Kingsman hits hard, as you can tell. Usually I would have someone tank it, just, have someone constantly block, but the problem is the people that had shields were actually the people that had to do the damage. I mean, Chen originally wasn't supposed to be doing the damage, but she got the freaking King Step, which is ridiculous. Speaking of, I never wrote this down. King Step. I'll just type it like that. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and pull up the stuff, because we got quite a bit of stuff going on. Delete, 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 and none of those are needed anymore. Okay, and bye-bye, Ken. Alright. So we technically lost 3 people, but it could have been worse. I mean, we could have lost Chen. Alright, Kingsmen. Rewards. The air grows still and a palpable feeling of dread comes over the survivor that dealt the final wound to the Kingsman. King's Curse. Alright, so we're going to do King's Curse next. Not pleasant. Not pleasant at all. King's Curse. The survivor that dealt the killing blow feels their heart sink. Tragedy befalls the survivor that kills the Kingsman. Their body starts to sweat profusely and their flesh bubbles with extreme heat. The survivor must roll a hit location dice on the King's Curse table. A survivor cannot gain more than 1 piece of regal gear per lantern year. Every piece of regal armor set is cursed. This may not be removed from your gear grid for any reason. When you die, archive this card. When a survivor completes the regal armor set, has all 5 pieces, they lose their humanity and become a Kingsman. Filled with a sense of urgent purpose, the survivor marches off into the darkness. The survivor no longer be controlled by a player. Discard their record sheet. They are dead. So, the character, whenever you kill a Kingsman, you are doomed to replace it. 6. The head. Your skull erupts inside your head, bone twisting and hardening into a plate, exoskeleton. Gain a random disorder and the regal helm rare gear and place it in your gear grid now. Okay. So I'm just going to go King Curse, head. And we're going to get a random disorder. 1d23. 13. 13 is Monster Panic. So monsters make you feel bad, really, really bad. Whenever you get intimidated, you suffer additional brain damage. So essentially, Chen's on a countdown timer. She will inevitably turn into a Kingsman after 4 more fights, assuming we use her for 4 more fights. Go ahead and pull up the Regal. So Regal Helm. Just letting you know that after at the aftermath, get all the pieces say King's Curse on it, but you can only get King's Cursed once per year. Or yeah, once per year. Regal Helm has 4 armor on it, and it is armor, bone, and metal. So it's really good armor, and eventually you'll have like 4 pieces of the set, which is pretty good. But once it's completed, you become a Kingsman. Alright, let's go ahead and see about getting... next we roll 1d10 and add 1 to it, and see what we get, if anything. Nothing! If you roll really high enough, you can get a steel sword, which is really good. But other than that, you're just essentially just surviving. But it is what it is. All right. So with that said and done, next year we're just gonna end up having 5 endeavors, because technically Ken didn't die; she just disappeared. But yeah. Pretty significant loss, but we did win, and that's really all that matters to me. So, I am the Depressed Eeyore. This was Kingdom Death Monster. Sorry for the long video, but as always, these Nemesis fights are, well, they're complicated. See you guys next time.